I can do it in any key if it helps you, if you're all kind of in one particular key, but I use this B flat, nice harp, great sound. Before you play and get into electric bands, that kind of thing, it's good to get up there knowing that what you're going to deliver through your amplified, you know, read whatever you got, your PA, is that what's coming out before that is under control and sounding, you know, as you want it to. And for me, harmonica, the kind of stuff I listen to, is about sounding warm, fat, and slick when you're playing. You know, knowing your phrases and your solos. I never got into stuff like, I mean, it sounds fantastic, things like overblowing and all that. It's not the sort of bag I was in. I can do it if I have a harmonica set up to do overblows, then I'll play them. But for me, the notes that you achieve with things like overblowing are there in different octaves on the harp, and it's all down. You know, it's all preference. For me, I like to, you know, I play fairly traditional style harp. I play the tongue block method. Which I think is, if you're into blues and the sort of greats and even the modern greats playing, they're all basically using that, or a mixture of it, lip playing and tongue blocking. If you're, you know, a two draw on a B flat harmonica, which should be the note of a F. If you're playing pucker lipped and you're not breathing properly, you're not using your diaphragm to play, then you'll get a rather, it's a plain, you know, it's not very life, it sounds, the reed's resonating, but if you follow the technique you're taught, and with me it developed with breathing with your diaphragm from your stomach. I can liken it to, imagine someone blowing a balloon up, you've got the balloon in your mouth, and someone suddenly emptying that balloon. What would happen is if you're all open and, you know, if you're not expecting that, the first thing that'll fill up is probably your stomach with the air from the balloon. That's exactly the technique you want to be using to play harmonica if you're playing tongue block or lip. What it does is it essentially gives you two wind bags. It gives you the diaphragm, where you fill up in your stomach and then the pockets of air around your sort of middle of your body, and then afterwards your lungs. And when you empty out, you go back in that order. So you empty out here first at the top, and then you push out from, which is how singers used to sing as well. So it's there, then lungs, and then you push out to the bottom. If you get that right, along with your embouchure, if you're with your lip playing or tongue blocking, you should get something like this. As I say, the difference between a lipped or a richer sound than when you're playing, you know, breathing shallowly. Basically, is what you're doing if you're playing from the throat or the chest rather than the whole thing. The other thing is if you're playing a pucker lip method and you're playing, say, a typical blues phrase. It sounds okay. If you use the tongue blocking method, you embouchure right, you get a much fatter, warmer, which is you know, a rounder sound, sounds a bit more pleasant. You can add to it with a bit of echo. Bigger, fatter, warmer sound. We'll do some acoustic for you now, and you can ask us some stuff about that. Everyone must have heard of Sonny Boy Williamson or something, so we'll do a bit of Sonny Boy. Check over there. Out of tune as usual. But we'll learn that key of C, yeah? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. temperature of the 110. Yeah, ever since that day, she put me down for another man. I give all my love, all my money and everything. I give all my love, boy, all my money and everything. I bought my baby's temperature up to 110. Ever since that day, she put me down for another man.
Exclusive then?
Sorry?
We had something like an exclusive in there.
Yeah, I do now want to play. It's generally tongue blocking, probably much to my shame, because I think if you can retain and do both comfortably and switch between pucker playing and tongue blocking, then it's a good thing. There are times, for instance, the Sonny Terry style is puckered. If I'm doing something like that, then I'll switch to puckering for that, because to me it's not the right sound if you don't play a pucker. But generally everything else is tongue block. Whether you're even down to the one hole draw and blow, which is the only hole where you need to switch direction of your tongue to truly tongue block on that bottom end of the harmonica. So if on the 2 and you're going down to the 1, it'll be a. Opens out the sound. It's quicker as well. It's slicker to be able to roll down, to bang between the 1 and the 2 hole quickly, tongue blocking.
So are you tongue blocking to switching to the other side for 1 then?
Yes, yeah,
right.
That's right. And every hole really, 4-hole draws. If you're pucker playing and you're playing a 4-hole draw, you get a. If you're doing it right with the embouchure, it's open, then your 4-hole draw would sound more. So it's around the sound, and that's just something that comes to practice. Hands up, do you play tongue block? Who plays tongue block, true tongue block all the time? You do it. So you don't do it all the time. Well, it's just something that when you first start, you might find it's awkward. Once you get used to it, it comes second nature. Just as when you probably first picked up, as I did, and played pucker style,
Do you bend the notes, Pete, with your tongue on the harp?
Sorry.
Do you bend the notes with your tongue on the
Yeah.
harp?
Oh yeah. If I'm bending a 3-hole draw or something, then the tongue's still right on the hole all the time. That's puckering there at the top end.
Oh,
Yeah, and then from that you'd switch straight to tongue. As soon as I left that blow away, it'd be back to tongue block on the 6th floor. So yeah, it just I find for me it rounds out the sound when the sort of blues tone, and it sounds thick. It sounds big and thick when you're playing amplified with it. If we're playing a gig and we're on stage, and obviously I'll use an amp that's going to be out, sort of stand up to the volume of the band. But I'll be honest, it doesn't matter. Everything you play, if you practice it acoustically, that sound you'll hear. If you've got harmonica heroes and you hear them blowing through an amplifier, 99 times out of 100, if they put that harmonica down, that microphone down, you'd hear exactly the same cool things. Those slurs and the tone is there without the microphone. So, and that's how it should be. So all that is doing is amplifying. Obviously, bullet mics and stuff are crunchy, so they make it sound nice and sort of dirty with it. But give an example. It's a shuffle in F. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Take around 12 bars, Steve.